Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, second-year man Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears, they face off with Ryan Tannehill and the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we are ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They will be led out by their 7th-year quarterback from Texas A&M, Ryan Tannehill.
Unfortunate for Ryan Tannehill, as the improvement was starting to develop in the NFL. 2 knee injuries in the last 2 seasons. The second one cost him all of 2017. Right now, if you watch the Dolphins, you believe as Ryan Tannehill goes, so do the Dolphins.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A huge play there right off the bat. 67 yards. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now, because is he rewarding himself for a great run, or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal.
30!
To throw is Tannehill, and this is going to be incomplete.
Well, that was excellent coverage right there, and he definitely did the right thing, showing that discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Threw it away, preserved the opportunity to kick for a field goal.
And excellent coverage. And right now the human is controlling the defense, so good job, human. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky.
and coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
If indeed the Chicago Bears were looking for a nice change-up to Jordan Howard at running back, they found it in Tariq Cohen. I'm telling you, this guy is shifty, quick. Even though he's small in stature, some people have called him the latest human joystick.
How about that? That'll be fun for Madden players. Just 5'6", but as you said, he can move. On first down, they run with Howard. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. And now a look at the offense for Chicago.
At running back is Jordan Howard, who was an absolute revelation as a rookie, but he finished second to Ezekiel Elliott for the rushing title in 2016. And no sophomore slump for him at all. Followed it up with a second straight 1,000-yard season and finished 5th in the league in rushing.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 3rd down. That's Cohen, and he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
Trubisky with a give to Howard, and he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Time to roll through the starters now defensively for Miami. They come into this one rounding out the top 10 in the 10 spot against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And Robinson with a big catch. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A Chicago first down, the former Jag Allen Robinson on the catch from Trubisky.
Let's go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Lock in.
This is Cohen. And now running right through it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Let's go, let's go. Hands up. Set up. 180.
On second down, Trubisky trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. The linebacker, Stephon Anthony, with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Yeah, he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And there's a nice catch by Mike Gesicki, the rookie out of Penn State. And, partner, you saw him when you were covering Big Ten football. He didn't block very many people, but that's not what they asked him to do. They asked him to go downfield and catch the balls we just saw there.
Yeah, absolutely right, and he can do it with the best of them.
Yeah, and how about him in his high school video? Did you ever see any of that with him dunking basketballs and spiking volleyballs? His athletic ability is off the charts.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On second down, it's Drake. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be third down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. They're able to locate Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Tannehill finding Wilson for the Miami first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Drake. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch. Time to run through the starters on the defensive side for Chicago. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But, boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
On second down, here's Tannehill. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Drake off the give from Tannehill. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now he'll escape to his right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
He'll get it up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Do a third down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Brings up fourth down. Solid coverage by the Bears D.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for them, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Trubisky, draw play, gives to Howard. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now they'll run it with Cohen, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On second down, here's Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 44-yard line. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Trubisky will throw. Wide open receiver complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and throw it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
From the gun on third down, Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so scared and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A give to Howard. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Cameron Wake makes plays like that look simple because I think he plays with excellent leverage. Really does a nice job of being lower than the offensive guys trying to block him and gets underneath them and goes up and down the line of scrimmage to make those types of plays.
They've kept him to a short run play there. The Bears on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And incomplete, a disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. Amendola catching it left side. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now Howard. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here's Trubisky to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On the handoff, this is Howard. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. It's been a game of field goals thus far. 6-3, that's our score. And we'll be back to South Florida after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Running with Howard. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They run with Howard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throw left side complete. It's Burton. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They find some open field here.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. And he hits the tight end. It's Deion Sims. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
They run. This is Cohen. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
On first and goal, Howard. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be second and goal.
Well, add that play to his resume reel, because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
Throwing here, Trubisky. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears are in for 6. Cody Parkey is on now for the point after.
When you give up a long touchdown drive, you're looking for a silver lining. In this case, it's the fact that your offense had a chance to rest, and now they can come out in the field charged up and ready to go.
Parkey adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
On first and 10, it's Trubisky. Looking deep for Gabriel. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Come on, gotta go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And he'll actually lose about 7 yards on the return, but they had possession of the football on the turnover. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Draw play. Tannehill gives to Drake. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Tannehill hands to Drake. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
28. Go, go.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami.
Let's go. Ready?
From the 50, it's Tannehill. And his throw here's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
20.
On the give, this is Drake. And able to push his way forward. Here for a good little gain.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. And that is incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Set up! Move. Man, son! Alert!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On third down, it's Cohen, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here we go on 4th down with Trubisky. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Stephon Anthony coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. I'm not worried about things. That's the only explanation I can come up with in this situation.
Well, he better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be out.
He's going to have to spin it for his own locker room, frankly.
Now a handoff for Drake. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They go with Howard to begin the drive. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the face mask with a 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Robinson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that's complete. It's Sims. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Trubisky now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Going to let one fly for Robinson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. So that is 3 interceptions now in this 1st half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, and it's 3rd and 4. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First carry for Frank Gore back home here in Miami. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. And Amendola with a catch. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
On 1st and goal, Drake. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are in for 6.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just haven't been able to punch it in until that point. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And he fires one incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Cullen, and he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's Danny Amendola as he and the offense march back onto the field. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him?
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
Off play action, Tannehill. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. The Dolphins on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Counter play, Drake. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own.
Getting to the quarterback, but he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there? Such a package he has, able to play the run and the pass so well.
Jordan Howard and the Bears offense making their way back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They'll begin the drive with Howard. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky out to his left. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Bears on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Finding Gabriel, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin in the NFC South. Tampa Bay paying their yearly visit to Atlanta. And that one getting close to halftime with the Falcons out in front. Matt Ryan with 3 touchdown passes there. From there, we head up to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. The Skins seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get out to the Bay Area. See what's happening with the Raiders at home in Oakland. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
Now they try the right side here. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He gets it to Sims, complete. 15 yards through the air on a 1st down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On second down, here's Trubisky. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Robert Quinn in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. First pick of the career for Minkah Fitzpatrick. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
And was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. And now Jordan Howard slow to get to his feet, so they will stop play here. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium.
Let's go. We're on the ball after this. Move, move.
First touch of the game here for Benny Cunningham. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Trubisky will throw. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, a 22.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
That is caught inside the 5. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Anthony Miller with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bears can grab the lead with the extra point. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Tannehill once more. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. They'll get it to Drake, running left. And he's got some space here. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
To throw is Tannehill, and they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Tannehill now to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete. Danny Amendola, the man he was trying to get it to. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. He is looking to help his team build their lead after trailing at halftime. They've got to like the spot they're in right now.
They have to love it, but as you and I both know, cliche alert coming here, you're only as good as your last possession. But I think that they like, as you said, the spot they're in and how confidently they're playing at this point.
But again, just a one-possession lead, looking to expand that now.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. And they'll go on the ground. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On third down, that's Cohen, and he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Here's Cunningham, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Again, Cunningham here on the ground. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They go with Cunningham. And he's got room. And he's got this down to the 35. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They run with Cunningham. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And that is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And Parkey's kick is good. And they add on and get a little bit of a cushion. It's 20-16 now. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
28!
They'll start the drive with Drake. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Tannehill with a hook up to Parker for the Dolphin first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Tannehill. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down.
20!
Now Drake. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Right back to Drake. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
On 3rd and short, Drake. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the third and then carry that over to the fourth.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll go option on second down, right side. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Hurry, hurry!
And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Now it's Tannehill off the bootleg. It's complete. It's Gore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They stay on the ground with Drake. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They have punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On first down, Drake. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Defense.
free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation. Game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly. On that one.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. And it's incomplete. Amendola had it and lost it. And it's 3rd and short.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are in for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now Forbath for the extra point. Forbath, the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Checking the NFL scoreboard, they're in the 3rd at MetLife Stadium. And it's the Colts who have scored to extend their lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Cunningham. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Let's go, let's go.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. Now a handoff working right. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on third and long. Play action. It's Trubisky. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Pulled in at the 24. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Drake off the give from Tannehill. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Running, it's Drake. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big play there for the Dolphins. 41 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll give it to him up the middle. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Now a handoff for Gore. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but they're still left with a long 4th and goal.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And Forbath will put this one through, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Onto the field now come the Bears. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. The defensive end, Cameron Wake, brings him down. Third and 2. Now Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. On the stop, Stephon Anthony with a tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The safety, Rashad Jones, brings him down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, a guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now Trubisky. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And no, it's incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Leonard Floyd leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And this is going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger-happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And they'll run it here. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Out of the gun, Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete here.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Now Trubisky to throw. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or two.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. They'll run with Drake, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there, but that only takes him back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
30.
Here's Tannehill. And that is incomplete. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now it's Trubisky. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing here, Trubisky. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Robinson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what we call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And that is incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe.
Oh, they need it. It's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now Parkey for the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. The return man is Grant. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Fresh off the pick six, it's Tannehill. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Now it's Tannehill. And that'll be incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he's on to punt for Chicago. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. And the stats on his game, they really tell the story. A strong start. I don't know that the defense has really changed a whole lot as opposed to maybe just sticking to that game plan and shutting him down now.
I like where you're going in a game plan in order to shut someone down. But in this case, maybe they're just sticking with what they worked on all week and they're just making better plays. And so far, they've got to like what they've been doing in the second half.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he stopped immediately there. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. This is Cohen. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Here's Trubisky. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
On third down, Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run. This is Cohen. And that lines up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They try again with Cohen. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Dolphins have got it.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game. And they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. He's back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Draw play. Tannehill gives to Drake. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Bobby McCain here, the one who brings him down. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back to throw. Flushed out right. And some room to maneuver. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worried about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. The rookie Minka Fitzpatrick with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. Tannehill to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathed a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Dolphins, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. And for Charles Davis and our entire
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.